Hi everyone, happy Move More Mondays from Athens Pilates and More. I'm Kate Blythe, owner and instructor here at Pilates and More. So today for Move More Mondays, I am going to talk about hand dominance or side dominance and how it can have an effect on our chronic challenges that we have with our bodies and the way that we use our bodies. So if you have taken classes or sessions with me or some of my other instructors who are here at Pilates and More, you know that I am a stickler for switching which side you start with. So we have left side weeks and right side weeks. So on a left side week, every exercise that is asymmetrical, we always start with the left side. And then on a right side week, it's the opposite. What that does is it helps us stay balanced and tune into ways that we are asymmetrical that otherwise we may not realize about ourselves. So this is a pretty simple exercise. It's more for your mind than it is for your body, at least when you start. So the reason I'm doing this is I noticed that anytime I would bend over to pick something up off of the floor, I would always reach with my right arm. And I have a rotation that happens in my body, and so I'm trying to work on countering this chronic rotation pattern. And what I realized was if I started reaching for things with my left hand, which I'm pretty ambidextrous, so it shouldn't be that hard for me, when I reached for things with my left hand, it changed the way I use the rest of my body, and then it helps me counter that chronic rotation pattern. So what I have here today is just a ball sitting on a table. You can do this at home. You can even do it seated. It's a little easier to feel if you do it standing up. So first, start facing your table or chair or bed, whatever you have your object sitting on. It doesn't have to be a ball. I just happen to have it because I'm at the studio. So first, just stand a little ways away from the table, step forward and reach for the ball. Hold it in your hand and notice which hand you grabbed it with and which leg stepped forward to balance you. Usually it's going to be the opposite leg. So I, mostly right-handed, reached for the ball with my right hand, stepped forward with my left leg. So what this did is it rotated my hips to the right, so my hips are pointed out, and it rotated my rib cage to the left. Okay, so now I'm going to put the ball back down and step back. Consciously make yourself do it on the other side. So I'm going to make myself reach with my left hand, which automatically makes me step with my right leg, excuse me. So what this does, and you can even see, I almost fell over there. Like, it's more complicated than it seems like it should be. But you can see my hips twisted the other way. My ribs had to counter to twist to the right. And this is actually stretching the front of my left hip a little bit and the outside of my right ribs. So step back to where you started. Try it again with the first side and notice what you feel changing as you switch sides. Do it a couple times on each side, and then we're going to switch it up a little bit. Feel how your weight distributes. If you keep your weight in your front leg, if you keep your weight in your back leg, where the rotation happens in your body, or if you want to step on the same side, which is what we're going to do next. So now, as I reach forward with my right arm, I'm also going to reach forward with my right leg. So what happens here, this looks like I'm going to turn away from the camera. I'm setting up to head into the wall here. I have shifted more weight into my left leg, and actually when I stepped my right leg forward, it went like across midline so that I didn't fall over. This is called a collateral pattern, so both sides both limbs on the same side are reaching forward. It's a lot harder to balance if this is your natural way of moving. Okay, then we're going to do the other side. Left arm's going to reach forward and left leg is going to reach forward. So this is turning me towards you. It's really easy, like if I was going to turn around and walk away that way. So our natural movement pattern as humans is to be cross-lateral. So like left leg, right arm, and right leg, left arm, to counterbalance us because we have this diagonal balancing pattern. So now that you've done it a couple times, reaching with the same side, left, left, right, right, go back to the original way. So left, right keeps you facing forward even though there's a two-directional twist in your body, and then reach with the other side. So what this teaches us is that our hand dominance affects the rest of our body. If you're right-handed, you're most likely going to reach for things with your right hand most of the time. If you're left-handed, same with your left hand. So what it does is it creates these chronic sort of patterns, and it's also a habit. This is a habitual movement pattern. And one of the things that Joseph Pilates talked about was breaking our habitual movement patterns, or at least becoming aware of them. That's where the mind plays into our Pilates practice. So as you go throughout your daily life over the next week, I encourage you to look at places where you automatically reach with one hand or the other, or automatically step with one foot or the other. Do you always step up off of your porch or onto your porch with your right leg? Try switching it up and see what you find. Obviously, if you have a movement challenge, if you have an injury or something, it's going to be really hard to change that pattern, and it may not work for you in every situation, but try it, especially the reaching thing. You know, which hand do you open a door with? Which hand do you brush your teeth with? How do you turn on the sink? Those kinds of everyday habits can have a big impact on the way that we use our bodies, and it's also a nice challenge for our minds. So I hope you enjoyed today's Move More Mondays video, and I will see you next week. Thank you.